Hi, welcome to another Dark Burleson Art. Today we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 deer on kind of a misty morning. Hope you like it. This has been done under painting in acrylics, and we'll finish it with its final tones in water-soluble oil. So I hope you enjoy it. Stick around. Okay, as you can see here, we got quite a bit of that underpainting done. That was all done in acrylics. It's just going to be a little quick painting. Wasn't real quick, but this part will be pretty quick. We'll go through the whole painting here in about 18 minutes. Did all the underpainting in acrylics. Going to make it kind of a hazy, foggy morning. Kansas deer standing out there. This was actually taken with a friend of mine's trail cam. Gave me permission to use it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and start putting some highlights, or start putting my oils now on the deer. Slowly put highlights on. But I don't want to make these really, really detailed just because we're going to have a haze or a fog. So you kind of want those deer in the fog. But we're just going to kind of go along and shape the deer a little bit. Kind of get them seated in the picture. And I know the trees in the background there are a little bit dark right now, but they'll lighten up. I just kind of threw them in with acrylics to see where I was going with the painting. Take just a little bit of that Prussian blue I got on there, a little white. Might have a little bit of green in there. I don't remember. Some of the colors I'm using today, it's just titanium white, Prussian blue, green. I don't know if it's a hooker's green, a little alizarin crimson, yellow ochre, burnt umber. Don't believe I had any dioxazine purple in this. I painted this a couple of weeks ago, so I'm just now getting to editing it. I'm sorry about that. Oh, and I had a little bit of cadmium yellow in there. So we're just going to kind of go up and start tapping at some indication of some leaves that's going to come through the fog. On this, I'm just using a little deerfoot brush. You could use a angle brush, just flatten it out. You could use a scrappy brush, just whatever you want. Some old brush that's kind of got gnarled ends. They make great little leaves. Now I'm going to put just another layer. What I did is I just added a little more white to that last color I had, just to lighten it. We may put 2 or 3 different coats on here. I know right there it's probably looking a little bit like clouds coming down, but I'll blend it in here in just a few minutes. The one thing I like about oils, you can put them on there and let them set indefinitely, or for a long time, and then go back in and blend. With acrylics, I can't do that. You've got about a minute to work with it, and then you better either have it done or move on. Again, I'm just kind of pushing that background back a little further. And I'll put more tree limbs in, and there'll be some old leaves in there. And it'll really start to fade back. Just taking a little liner brush, a little bit of that blue color, make it a little bit darker. Add just a touch of black to it, just to darken it up. Now I'm going to put just a few indications of some limbs coming through there. I'll tell you, painting this painting made me want to be out there. Maybe have a tree stand over on the other side of there, watching those deer. Here I'm using just a little foam makeup brush, or I don't know what you would call it. I use it, it's got a little tip on it, and I use it to kind of clean some of the paint off of the edge of my subject matter there. Kind of just cleans the paint off so I don't have to be so detailed. I can come back and wipe that off. Again, hard to do with acrylic, but oils you got quite a bit of time to work with. It's really good. I don't remember who I learned that from. I was watching actually a video and somebody was using it. I'm like, hey, that's a good idea. Alright, so I'm going to go into some of that almost straight ochre. I might have liked it just a little bit, but pretty much straight ochre. Might have added just a little bit of yellow, but I'm just going to go through with that scruffy brush. Just kind of make some indication of some bushes back there. Coming around, just kind of lightening that background up a bit. A nice transition from the lights to the bluish gray. Then that background along that ochre color, and then we'll come in on the foreground and we'll make it a little bit darker. Right now, I'm just kind of stumbling in some different colors to give that grass effect. And we'll go in and we'll actually put little grasses in. But in the picture I was using, there wasn't a lot of detail in the grass. It was kind of smashed down. This is fall, probably late fall. There's still a little bit of green in the grass, mostly ochres and browns, and there was a few leaves on one of the trees. They were brown. So I would say this is probably early November here in Kansas. And we'll spend a little time here just going from deer to deer to add a little shadow. The light's coming from the left side, so I'm going to kind of darken the side of that deer a little bit. But again, not trying to put a lot of detail in, because the fog will just take it all away. So why do all the work? In here, I'm just using a little flat brush, just bring it to a chiseled point and kind of use it to fill in. I'm putting some of the darker areas on this one. And I'll come back in and highlight this one later. Bring his legs down just a little more. Now that deer on the other side of the one I was painting there, it in the picture almost was a ochre color. It was really light. So I'll go in and lighten that one up too, which really helped to transition the two deer in the picture. And then there's actually a deer back there. I'm kind of using that makeup brush to kind of take some of it off. But like I said, they're on the left. Behind those two, there's a little part of a deer sticking out. I'll highlight it later, but most of it disappears into the fog later. And this deer too will also be into the fog. I'll go ahead and start highlighting that one back there, see how he's kind of taking on that lighter color. Yeah, you can kind of see that deer in the background. It's not a lot of detail. I will put a little more detail on him, but not a lot. Just deciding what colors I want to bring in. Start bringing in maybe some branches or just an indication of something there in the background. Not real sure. Don't know that we really care right here because a lot of this will be covered up. Just maybe some indication of some limbs or something. And I'm still using that little flat brush. Actually, I believe I'm using my coma brush on this. That coma brush has a nice flat area that you can use. I'd use it for water a lot, but all right, now you can see here I'm just starting to add just a few highlights there. And since the last time when I came back, when we cut to this, I put the dead leaves up there in the trees. You've seen me do 100 leaves, so I just cut it out of this painting. I mean, this painting, I think I had about 4 or 5 hours in it, and I cut it down to 18 minutes. So there was a lot that went on to, a lot of film that went on the floor, I guess you can say. But I'm just using my little liner brush to kind of go through and touch up the deer a little bit, add some shadows, a little bit of light here and there. Again, kind of coming back in and just highlighting a little bit. Start putting some indication of some grasses in there. Again, don't want a lot of detail in the grass. As you can see, just didn't cover up all those darks. I just kind of pick and choose where you're going to put your grasses, so it looks like there's several different planes in there. And then I'll go back with my liner brush and start just putting some indication of some grasses sticking up. But the original picture, they were laid down almost like there had been a rain or something that had smashed a lot of the grass down. There I'm going to go with my liner brush, just kind of touch up some of those limbs, make some of them just a little bit darker, because some of the limbs were so light that when I put the mist over them, I thought they would just completely disappear. Now I'm just tapping in one more coat on those bushes back there just to give them a little more dimension. Now I'm going to just come in here. This is where my trees will kind of disappear back there. And this isn't the misting part of it or putting the haze in. That'll come in at the end. I'll have to let this dry completely, and then I'll come in and do a glaze or put in my fog. I'm going to tap in just a few indication of some grasses there, because there was some lighter grasses in the original picture. Just kind of tapping in some color in that back deer, that one behind the other one there in the middle, just to maybe show that light is kind of hitting on his back. And like I said, in here I just kind of go through and just back and forth, touch up the deer, just till I get them where I think I want them. Again, some detail, but not a lot. Just find where that sun is kind of, or not the sun, but the light is kind of hitting each of the deer. Give each deer its kind of own personality. With light on the outside of the leg and the inside of the other one. Little light hitting there. This painting really turned out well. I was pleased with it. I got some prints made from it. It'll be in our shows. That's indicating to me that we're almost at the end of our painting. I didn't get the mist putting in the fog filmed, but I'll show it to you at the end. So hopefully like and subscribe. I hope to see you on the next one. Have a great week.